3 to 5 Saturday night. Now that's about it. Maybe we'll get a couple inches, but could be 6.
Usually it's the reverse. Mine says less than an inch on Saturday.
Well, let's stick with yours.
4% in jail.
Hopefully,
Raining now.
hopefully you'll have one more chance to make another snowman.
Yeah, it says I'm extremely.
I won't be heartbroken if I can't.
No.
At least I'm not getting any babies yet, but I'm getting close.
Trouble by you.
Yeah.
You need an address? I'll give
Is
you-
Toby on?
Hey, I know where it is.
Okay, Toby and
No, not
Todd.
me.
Okay, Toby's on. Toby and Todd are on.
I met all of them.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's who you
I was
want.
talking to the Teshas. They said. that
So-
they were done having,
Toby and Todd,
Why?
can you hear us?
you know, Teshas,
Oh, there's
uh,
Mr. Meyer. and-
down by us.
Yeah.
He said they were done.
I see.
A lot of people.
For some reason, I don't see them all on there.
Early
I see 'em
bird
on
might
my-
get the worms.
on my screen, but
Your neck
don't
was-
worry about it.
Sales tomorrow.
Sales tomorrow.
Yeah.
They geared up, ready for that.
Yeah, the big suppers
I
tonight.
can see
They have a
it.
dinner tomorrow too, but
See
tonight's
your
prime
people.
rib and they have a speaker and stuff. Oh yeah, it's,
Bushes?
no, Burwald
Oh.
down by Estline there. Yeah, pretty big event. Selling 145.
I see Steve was prepping them oysters.
Oh. Oh.
9:01?
Oh, yeah.
Well, all righty, we better
It's time.
call the weekly county commissioner meeting to order. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, and Mr. Gable would like to lead us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Looking on that for the flag. I couldn't find it.
Now I have to go to a chiropractor because my neck.
Yeah.
You can just turn around.
All right, like to call for public comment. Comments can be submitted in person or via telephone at 882-6248 or 882-6297. Is there any conflict of interest?
No.
No.
No,
All right. Looking for action to approve the March 10th, 2026 agenda.
So moved.
second it.
Motion by Gable, second by Schwer. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Action to approve the March 3rd minutes of the
So
board.
moved.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by
Van Dusen.
Had a lapse there. Couldn't see him. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. This is the time for a public hearing and action to approve resolution 2026-04 for the issuance of economic development revenue bonds for the Village of Harmony Hill Incorporated.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I think we have Michael Cladd and we have Mr. Maya Henry and Mr. Morris online. You guys,
Okay,
so. When you guys
Well,
would like to-
this is a hearing that's required by federal law. 501c3s can only issue tax exempt if they find a governmental conduit issuer in which to go through. And under our state law, the conduit issuer is prohibited from pledging any tax revenue, any revenue whatsoever, or property. They act solely as a conduit. They issue the bonds, and after the bonds are issued, everything is assigned to the bank, and from the 501c3 and the bank's position, kind of the county's out of it. And it's just a regular tax exempt commercial loan between the nonprofit and the bank. We're always asked a number of questions. Does this affect the constitutional debt limit of the county? And the answer is absolutely not. It's not a debt of the county. What happens if it doesn't get paid? Could it affect the rating of the county? And again, it does not. Rating agencies in the market themselves understand that this is really not a debt of the county, that it is the debt of the 501c3. And so any problems with this type of a loan doesn't happen. Under federal law, this is the time and place for people for and against to get up and speak. And with that, I'll answer any questions. This is a very similar resolution that the county's done prior with the assisted living portion of this project. This is just the independent living side of it.
And maybe, Mr. Chair, I know Michael, and I think is Sister Barb in the audience. If they could speak to this project, it is again it's just a beautiful project, building on with the great campus that they've done. It's super exciting to work for them to help them out. And so maybe if Michael or somebody from
Yeah, Mr. Claude is here, so.
Okay.
Come on up, have a seat. Okay. Sure.
Just push that little white button there and
Introduce yourself.
Yeah, right.
please introduce yourself so everybody knows who you are.
All right, good morning. My name is Michael Klott, and I serve as strategic advisor to the sisters at Mother of God Monastery. I've been helping them since 2020. As noted by Mr. Henry, you previously adopted a resolution to use conduit financing for the assisted living portion. We're now moving forward with 62 units of independent living. It'll be directly connected to the monastery, and the monastery will become the main entrance to the campus then once this project is complete. So this is an extension of the senior housing campus, and it'll provide a continuum of care for the seniors living in the community and provide options for the greater Watertown community. So it's a wonderful addition, continues the legacy the sisters have started here as they can move forward with the plans of the development of their campus for the care of themselves and for the community. I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
I see on here it says the bond is not to exceed 30 million.
Yeah, we won't be hitting that number, but you have to put it, you don't want to come back for another number. So it's below 30 million.
Okay. Sounds good. Do we have somebody here that wishes to speak?
Sister Barb, why don't you join me?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good
Yeah.
morning.
Here, Barb. You got to introduce yourself.
You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Sister Barb Younger from Mother of God Monastery.
And Sister Barb, we just kind of went through the project summary. Do you want to add anything about what the project will do for the campus?
Well, when the sisters decided to move forward and to intentionally develop our land, we had no idea exactly. We're not land developers. We're not economic experts. We had no idea, honestly, as we started to do this, what an impact it would have, not only the people that are being cared for at the village, but what a benefit economically it would be to Watertown. We know that housing and care go hand in hand. And so to provide this for seniors, to provide with the work Watertown is trying to do and Codington County is trying to do with housing, affordable housing, this helps that overall plan. So we're excited to be a part of that solution. We're excited to continue to drive an economic construction engine in Codington County, which this is part of the benefit of this expenditure. So we're very pleased with that. Very excited overall about what's happening in Codington County and Watertown with all of the movement toward housing for different demographics.
Sounds good.
Any questions?
From the public hearing.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We'll turn it back over to Mr. Morris and Mr. Henry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we would really just stand by questions. Again, as Todd pointed out, it's something similar you've done in the past. It's an incredibly exciting project. So I think you're going to see not only this, there's as Sister Barb said, there's a housing project that's going through the city process right now for the correct zoning that will be looking at I want to say workforce housing within the low 300 range. So a lot of benevolence from the sisters. Exciting.
Okay, so if I didn't say it, we're opening the public hearing for this project and looking for any input or say by anyone else. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and move on to questions by commissioners.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion to
I'll
approve by
second it.
Gable, second by Schwer. Any other comments? If none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Say, Mr. Chair, if I could take just a minute of privilege and I really want to congratulate, you've got a commissioner there that about 8 years ago called me up and said, how do we get a sales tax for counties to offset property tax? And I told them, I said, I think you're better off getting a Sherpa and climbing Mount Everest before we ever try something like that. So this year I dubbed it the Gable Bill, finally came to fruition, and really want to personally thank Commissioner Gable for years of hard work. It obviously takes a lot of years for a good idea to sink in, but congratulations, Lee. It may not have come together what originally planned, but it's on the right path.
Okay.
Does that mean he climbed Mount Everest first?
That's next month.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been involved this time around, but yeah, thank you. Yeah, it all started, it's many years of conversation and discussion about this, the back and forth, so.
Absolutely. So thank you, Mr. Chair, and congrats, Lee.
You bet. Thank you. All right, next up is action to approve plat resolutions. We have 2 of them.
Morning, Luke.
Morning, Luke.
Commissioners. I will remember to press the button before I talk this time.
The first plat we have is, it's Bunkers, right? Yeah. So the first plat is the plat of Bunkers Addition located in Government Lot 4, Section 17, Pelican Township. This is on the west edge of Lake Pelican. This was a necessary component. If you remember back towards the end of last year, we vacated basically the dead end portion, or at least a portion of the dead end portion of West Pelican Drive. And the final part of that was to plat what this individual owned on both sides into a single lot. Probably the primary component to that plat is that he did have to keep an emergency turnaround in there. And so if you see on the plat, there is a hatched area on the drawing that indicates where the emergency turnaround would be. And that is frankly just for in the case of a fire or ambulance need that would come down that road, so that we can guarantee there's the ability to do so. Like the individual noted, he's not going to be a jerk and block it off in that instance, but it's good to have it dedicated just in case. So that's why it's there. With that is all that I've got with that plat.
Move to approve.
So
Motion by Johnson, second by Gable. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
With regards to that, I will make one note there. The drawings here, the plats here, as well as a supplemental drawing for their vacation to be recorded at the same time, or ahead of it. With regards to the next plat is the plat of, I should write the name down here, the plat of Coteau Farm Edition, located in the southeast quarter, section 12, township 118, range 55. I just read that because it's Phipps Township, but it's right on the boundary with Fuller Township. This is 2 straight west and a half south of Florence, if you could go that way, but there's a big lake in the way. So it is, as I said, as the crow flies, about 2 miles west of Florence. This is a lot that was platted as a condition of approval of a farmstead exemption by the Board of Adjustment with recommendation, 5-acre lot, includes a building site as well as some trees. They just have an easement that goes across it because it's the site of an old feedlot and they do have some animals there. There's a pipe buried under there, so they want to be able to get to that if they need to. So that's all that I've got on that.
Vote to approve.
Second.
Second by Schwer.
Question, Mr. Chair. So the structure that's on there now, is that the current farmstead or what, or is that?
So the farmstead is, the house that's just to the south of this platted lot is the farmstead house.
Okay.
The original one. They're proposing to put the plot thickens, but they're proposing to put a manufactured home there. I can tell you that there was a manufactured home there because I was daycared in that thing many years ago.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Planning and zoning board in meeting this past week did approve both of these issues by majority vote.
Yeah, I would though, just for the sake of that. It's a good point. Every so many years, it doesn't hurt just to update everyone on how that rule works. With the farmstead exemption, the way in the land use plan that's listed is that we can either A, just draw a box around the old farm site, the original farmhouse, or B, any property that is contiguous and in the same section. They could move that 5-acre building right within. We just have to record a thing that says, hey, we acknowledge this is the place for that 5-acre building, right? Everyone else has to have 35 acres. The board did that with its action at the time. So, but it's a good point. We got to update ourselves on that every now and then too. Thanks.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Moving on to our monthly reports. So first up, we have the auditor.
All right, good morning, everyone. Just to update you, annual report is well underway. Hopefully we'll have the portion that needs to be published in this week for next week's publication. And just as a reminder, the final date to file petitions for the June primary is March 31st, 2026. And for independents, they have until April 28th, 2026. And that would be for the general election. Also, I plan on attending the annual Weed and Township meeting, just in case there's any questions that those individuals may have. Other than that, it is business as usual, and we are busy.
All right, sounds good. Any questions for the auditor? Seeing none, we'll move on to Director of Equalization. Good morning, Shauna.
Shauna.
Well, our assessment notices were mailed out the last week in February. Hopefully, most people have gotten them. We sent them to.
Lick your microphone.
Did he shut it off?
Yeah.
He did.
Set you up.
He set me up. All right. Okay, so the assessment notices are out in the mail. We took them to Pro Mail the third week in February, hoping that we could make sure everybody got them prior to the deadlines coming up. So we're busy with calls, walk-ins, emails. The weed meeting is on Wednesday, tomorrow night. We generally go and pass out our books there. We don't have a whole lot of books left, and if a bunch of people come pick them up today and tomorrow, we may not, but most of the time we're there. Thursday, March 12th, so this Thursday is appeal deadline for the local boards already. And then they will start meeting next week. And then they meet for a week and then bring the books in. And then the county consolidated board deadline is April 7th. That's the last day they can appeal. And then we will meet on April 14th as a county board here at 1 p.m. And then as a consolidated board over at City Hall at 6 p.m. It'll be the first time in the new building. So, but Kristen is going to be doing the minutes. So hopefully she can kind of help us through everything we need to learn how to do over there for that meeting. And then there is one House bill that we're paying very close attention to this year. It has changed a couple times, been amended a couple times. Right now it's sitting at having non-ag properties not go up more than 5% per year. Individual properties, not countywide. So no non-ag, so it'd be owner occupied, residential and commercial properties would not be able to increase by 5% per year in their assessments. And then every 5th year, the assessments need to go full and true. So they can go up 5% each year, and then on the 5th year, they could go up to what the full and true value is supposed to be. That's not set yet, but it is a bill that we are definitely watching.
Mr. Chair, just so that bill applies to this new construct, which kind of?
That bill applies to the new it applies to anything that is currently assessed right now. Any new construction that gets put on it full and true right away, and then can only increase 5% per year from that. So anything new houses, new commercial buildings, things like that will still be put in at full and true, but then can't go up more than 5. And if you do additions or building permits, anything like that, you still put on that value.
Right.
It's just anything.
I think that's passed both houses already, hasn't it?
Yes, it started out as like 3% a year, and then full and true every 7 year is how it passed the House. And then Senate taxation changed it to the 3% or the 5% a year, and then full and true every 5th year. So that's what it's sitting at right now.
So it would go on it would just kind of be a perpetual cycle like that.
Yes.
5 years.
Yep.
Hmm.
So we're just paying close attention to that, see if that one,
But actually, it's ready for the governor's signature.
I think so,
I think it is, yeah.
yeah. But that's the big one this year.
I hate to put you on the spot, but within the last week, the news talked about the big city action to approve a TIF.
Mhm.
Personally, I've had like 3 people that have contacted me. Could you discuss just a little bit what exactly the TIF does?
What a TIF district does?
Yeah, because that's
Um,
people, I think in general don't understand that. So,
I think the concerning thing is, I think the city was handing them out like candy on Halloween. And that, that's.
well, TIF districts are meant to bring and keep new people coming here. Now, right now, they're talking about there's TIF district that got okayed for apartment buildings, 2 apartment well, one's a single apartment building, and then one is an 8-building apartment building that's coming in. And then one new one that they're talking about is a housing project up at Harmony Hill. And so they're going to be basically low-income housing, kind of like Prairie Haven is. They're going to be smaller houses, but it's actually going to be affordable housing. And then the apartment buildings are supposed to be affordable housing too. But what a TIF does essentially is they get a loan, not really from the city, because they get a loan from the bank, but the city is the mediary in between. But the loans come from the bank, and then their first 20 years of taxes payable goes to pay back that loan. So it's just an incentive to bring builders here to get the growth and get everything that we need as a town, I guess, to come here. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about them. That's kind of just the gist that I get. I kind of just put them into the system. But it's basically one of the only ways development companies and stuff have, to help bring in these businesses and builders and stuff to help us grow.
Tax exempt for 20 years.
They're not essential.
Can I explain? I think I.
Just the buildings.
Yeah.
The land.
Well, whatever it was, basically before they are put into a TIF or when the TIF is created, they have a base value, and we create that base value based on like the new apartment buildings. That base value is the land value that it is the year prior to the TIF being implemented. And then the tax money on that base value still hits all of the entities that are supposed to get it. But it's an increment value is what goes to pay off. So anything above and beyond that base, so any change in that assessed value from building or whatever, that is what is actually used to pay off the TIF. So nothing is lost. We're not losing anything. It's just the new increment value that is going to pay off that TIF prior to it going to all
If
the,
I could add, so thanks for explaining that. At the housing conference a couple of weeks ago, they had a session explaining tips. I learned some stuff there, but basically it's saying it just in words that I think of it as, so the unimproved value, so to say if there's a piece of land, we still get the tax on that land, but whatever the value of those improvements are, that's what goes either up to 20 years or whenever that loan is paid off. So that's, that's basically what a TIF does. And so it's,
Actually, what it is, it's just delaying for whatever period of time it is, 20 years, before we start receiving the taxes on that improvement on that building or whatever it happened to be. The thing that kind of struck me, and they said affordable housing on the one TIF, $1,800 a month rent on this apartment complex is what they're proposing. Isn't that the number I saw? Is that right?
So that's only for retired teachers.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I think I'm not sure if that's what they're gonna charge, because on that TIF, it showed the 1,800, but it showed a different range for different sizes, and I think he said they're only doing the 2-bedroom ones, and I'm not sure what they were. But rent in Watertown is very high everywhere. So, for
That's
them to
because of
come
all
in
the
at that
TIFs.
point. Not all of them, not all of them. And yes, I'm not gonna mention my personal views on TIFs, but TIFs it's a tool to bring people in, and that's what it's supposed to be doing, and
I think an important thing for us to understand is that, our director of equalization has to kind of just look at the property, regardless of whether there's a tip on it or not,
Yeah.
and say when the valuation comes in. And so that's her challenge, I think, so. And
yep, my challenge is just to implement them into the system, so.
And they are good. They're there for a purpose to bring property. If the entity that receives the TIF stays with us. But what I have seen in my many years is that they disappear, they move out, and then we're hung. We don't ever recoup any of the taxes. That's what I've observed in the past.
The
I could be
Oh.
wrong.
There have been a couple TIFs that aren't scheduled to pay off, but they are more so the older TIFs that, like on First Avenue project, where they implemented those TIFs over 20 years ago, but it's finally starting to actually, people are building things, things like that, where when it takes so many years for building and for, economic change to come in, that's why it's taking so long. And that's also why I think they're going down to just one TIF per a smaller area. Because when they, like Pheasant Ridge, it took Pheasant Ridge many, many years, and they did the whole area versus just one lot at a time. And so if you're waiting years and years and years for people to buy these and start building on them, that's really why the TIFs weren't paying off, is because they just weren't getting done as fast as what we thought they were going to do. But now the First Avenue now the lots are selling and things are great. And I think you'd have to ask the city, but I think that's why they're kind of doing just one project at a time versus a big area, because they want to make sure that they pay off, and we kind of go from there. But yeah, it's really.
I've just got a quick question.
Mhm.
So at the end of the 15 or 20 years, that value of that improved, is that at that 20 years, we put that value on, or is that when it was
No,
built?
The value is always going to be on there, and their tax bill is the same as it ever would be. It's just the money from that tax bill
Oh,
goes to a
okay, so
different
that's already
entity.
been, the assessed
so
value has already been
Everything,
applied.
yes, everything is the same. And then if they are in a TIF, they do not get the discretionary, which is the 0% value for 5 years. They're now putting it in their contracts. The city is the Watertown Development Company, that they can't get that, just so that they can start paying on that back. And so basically they pay the exact same amount. They can still appeal their value, everything like that, everything is the same. It's just the entity as to where that tax money goes. And then after the 20 years, that tax money goes to the same place everybody else's does and gets split up between all the entities.
So for some reason, the value on a piece of property, just in her, objective, looking at that piece of, that piece of infrastructure were to go up significantly, that would increase the taxes and that theoretically could speed up the payoff of that mortgage.
Yep, and if it gets paid off sooner, then the sooner we get that tax.
So it starts coming here
Yep.
sooner.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So, but it's all, but she's got to be very objective about
Yep.
how those things are evaluated, just like we try, that's why we go through our appeals process and all that for residential.
Mhm.
So, Mr. Chair, if I can make a quick comment.
Yeah.
I think one of the concerns was that we were underestimating the valuation of those TIFs to begin with. Am I right on that?
I'm not sure about the old ones because we weren't really involved with those, but I would assume they were underestimating the value on those just because they thought that there would be more economic growth faster. Like when you do a TIF in 20 lots, you're hoping, I suppose, that they're gonna sell right away and build right away, but it just took too many years for that to happen. So I would assume they're estimating less, but now they're starting to estimate taxes like the ones that I just got this year. They're estimating taxes to start a year later because it takes 2 years to get your taxes through because you're paying taxes a year behind where they used to estimate the taxes starting that very first year. So the newest one that we found, they're using, like the housing one, they're using the owner occupied mill levies instead of non-owner occupied mill levies, which makes a big difference. Whereas, before they're handed one mill levy and like I said, I'm just, kind of guessing at this point. I don't know a lot about them. But I would assume that that is what happened, that they just didn't start building right away. So if there's no building, then there's no increment value and there's nothing to be paid to the TIF taxes, so. I don't know.
Well, good discussion, and like I apologize for putting you on the spot, but I think you did marvelous in explaining that.
Yes.
But yeah, it's concerning to a lot of people, and I think it's just simply they don't understand exactly what it is, so.
Mhm. It's just very important to know that it's not taking any tax dollars away from us. It's hopefully, the city's views, it is hopefully bringing new things in and eventually, we'll see all that tax money from it, but it is basically growth for the city and just a tool to help bring new stuff here.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank
Right,
you.
thanks, Shauna.
Yeah.
We'll forward any other questions on to you.
Or the city, they're the ones that give them out.
All right, next up, we have the Community Service Director. Good morning.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Sarah.
Good morning. I apologize, I didn't get the graph sent to you in advance. So here is that. So numbers for February, down a little bit from January as far as individuals seen, but if you look at the total client contacts by month at the bottom, it's actually higher than it was a year ago. So fewer clients, but more intense with things happening there. On the right-hand side, it talks about some of the individuals served by year. So we're already at 72 for this year that we've seen clients, 172 different services this year, and 218 total contacts this year. So continue to be busy seeing people. Any questions on any of that data there? I'm not going to go through everything in detail. I'll move on. If you have questions, you can jump in. Otherwise, I'll move on to the rest of my report. For the CHW program, we billed Medicaid for $1,092.80 in January for reimbursement for their services. We were able to bill the Department of Health CHW grant for $3,551 in February. So that's a total of over $4,500 that was billed for CHW program in January. They're continuing to work on increasing Medicaid reimbursement. We're talking through some plans for that so that it can better cover their positions. Our Partners in Mission group, which is the group up at the monastery that has been meeting for since last May, have identified their goal as having a volunteer coordinator, and so they are going to be releasing a volunteer survey, hopefully today. That's coming out. We've been working with them. It will be we've developed this. Well, we've helped build the survey for them, and we'll help send that out through our office and stuff. Angie is continuing to work with the state's attorney and judges on creating a pretrial program. She's also meeting with the sheriff and some of his staff today to talk about different partnerships that we can have to create that pretrial program and make it effective here in Watertown. Restart is also expanding their community awareness campaign. If you've seen the videos of the individuals that are in recovery, they're expanding it now, partnering with Northeast Radio to record some other stories throughout the community. So be watching for those stories on that Restart on Facebook and all the social medias for that. For a system of care, our interagency meeting is this month. It will be at Brothers and Sisters Behind Bars, so they will be hosting it. Our agency of the month is Spectrum Matters, and our individual of the month is Tracy Curtin. She's a social worker at Prairie Lakes, and March is Social Work Month as well. So that's why we wanted to highlight a social worker who is doing great work in our community. Our housing team is continuing to move forward with the initiatives. As Commissioner Gable said, they had the housing conference last month. If anybody is interested in being part of any of those work streams or initiatives, please let us know and we will get you, they can call our office or they can contact the city as well, and we can get you connected with those different groups that are working for that. For childcare, we have closed the survey that we did, and SDSU is beginning to compile the data on that survey. So they're hoping to have a report to us by the end of March. Hopefully, we'll be able to release it to the public sometime in April as far as the results for that childcare survey that we did regarding to parents and their needs for childcare. The centralized location is on track. We're continuing to work on that, and everything is moving forward as we had hoped we would. So hopefully we'll be able to have some announcements on that coming up soon as well. Our HEART team is coordinating a community presentation for the ACEs training. That presentation will be on March 30th and 31st. In the evening on March 30th, we will have Tiffany Petro will be here for all of those trainings, but she will be doing a training targeted towards like childcare providers and people that work with children as well as parents with children. Supper will be provided, and you can go on our Codington Connects Facebook page to register for that. We hope to have some good attendance at that. Then on Tuesday, the 31st at 9 a.m., there will be an introduction to ACEs presentation by Tiffany. So if you've never heard about ACEs, this is a great opportunity to learn about it and how we deal with this. Everybody deals with this every day. And so this is a great informative session for that. And then from noon to 2 will be about hope, the hope data that is out and how we counteract ACEs. And so that'll be another great presentation from 12 to 2. And again, that registration is on our Facebook page. Lunch will be provided at that session.
Mr. Chair, what's the date again on that?
March 31st for the 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock, 30th for the 6 p.m. session with that one. So yeah, those will be great opportunities. And so again, the HEART team is coordinating that, and it's sponsored by Shine and Adio Consulting for that session.
So what
that training.
ACEs stands for?
Yes, thank you. Adverse childhood experiences. So it really is like what creates trauma in children and then how we address it. It's fascinating information because it also talks about brain development. It's not really, I mean, there is some touchy-feely, but it's not really touchy-feely. It's really facts-based. Very fascinating information with that. So those are good training opportunities for the community. And everybody is invited anywhere.
Where will these sessions be held at?
Oh, great question. At the Extension Center. Yep. And thank you to SDSU Extension for helping coordinate that location for us as well. And we are moving forward with that community awareness campaign that we received the grant from the opioid funds for. That group has selected a marketing company, And we will be getting started working with them here in April. We'll start working with them. So as always, check out coddingtonconnects.com for more information about events and activities in our community.
Chair, just on one clarification on the opioid grant, that's a state level grant.
Yes.
From their funds, not from our local funds.
Correct. Yes, that is correct.
Mr. Chair, just a comment, I have to see your clip that was on Kelloland TV too.
Oh, that Brothers and Sisters Behind Bars
And,
Day. Yes.
And it was good.
Yeah, they did a great job.
I think, make people more aware of what's going on.
Yeah, and Face It, that was a great partnership between
Yeah.
Face It Together and
Face
Brothers
It
and Sisters
Together,
Behind Bars. Mhm. Yeah, thanks. They did a great job.
Well done.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah.
Have a good day.
All right, thanks, Sarah. All right, moving on. Discussion possible action to approve the purchase of a snow plow for the Highway Assistant Superintendent.
Morning.
Morning, Randy.
Yes, as stated, this is just to purchase a plow for my assistant's plow truck. This is a secondary plow. Reason we got the one bid is we have other Western plows on my truck currently and on one of our other trucks. This quote is from Steve's World for $12,170.81. It's got a $500 rebate and potentially it could come in cheaper, but this was a quote he gave me at the time.
This
This
is
budgeted,
Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
very good.
move to approve.
Motion by Johnson,
Second it.
second by Schwer. Any other discussion? Not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Be able to get that like right away for this week? 'Cause
No, we won't have it quite that
What's tonight?
fast.
we got what, 6 out of 8 days forecasting snow here. I'm kind of worried.
Hopefully we'll have it before the end of it.
All right, next up is discussion possible action to approve a quote for rip wrap project along County Road 7.
Yes, this is a second project for this area along the Willow Creek. Basically what it is riverbank stabilization. The water is starting to erode into our right of way. Reason for the single quote from Deutsche Excavating is because he had done the first portion of this a little further down the road. This is just to the south of the bridge that we are going to be repairing this year. Pram will be there in April to repair some ice damage that occurred a couple of years ago. And we are also going to be repaving this road. So this is kind of the beginning of the project here.
What's the, why do we have two estimates here?
Okay, the second estimate is for a similar project down the road. It's for culvert repair
Oh,
replacement.
Gotcha. All right. Gotcha. All right.
For the quote from Deutsche Excavating for the riprap project, it came in at $65,510.32. And I would request that we approve this so we can have this taken care of prior to doing the road project itself.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Gable,
Second.
second by Van Duzen.
Thank you.
So
All those-
we just said, Mr. Chair, just.
Yep.
So we just had one quote on this.
That is correct because Deutsche did the previous riprap project down there. So he knows exactly what we want done and how it's to be done.
That motion include both these estimates or just?
Just a single one.
Just the first.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next up is the discussion possible action to approve the quote for the culvert replacement project on CR7, which is the other estimate we have.
Yes. This is again wanting to be done prior to us doing the road paving or repaving project where we're gonna mill 2 inches off and replace 2 inches of asphalt. This needs to be done prior to and compacted prior to. Again, the reason for the single quote is Deutsche is gonna be in the area, so his amount of moving the equipment is considerably less in this case. So his quote came in at $7,280.63 to replace 2 culverts with a single culvert, again, to have this compacted and ready for the road repaving later this spring into the early summer.
On County Road 7,
Correct.
move to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Johnson,
Second.
second by Schwer. Any other questions? No. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Randy.
Yes.
Moving on, we, action to approve abatement applications.
We have
sure.
Skip mine.
number
Report.
12 first.
Oh, I crossed it, yeah. Action to approve the auditor's account with treasurer and note monthly register of deeds fee. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Okay, so you have those documents in your packet as well. You'll note all the cash and items that were on hand the last day of February in the treasurer's office. And then the account with the treasurer, it lists the custodial funds, the amount that will go to the schools, the townships, the cities and towns. The ending amount was 24,653,410.20. And then the monthly register of deeds fees that she took in for the month of February was $33,858.80.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Gable,
Second it.
second by Schwer. Any other questions? Not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now moving on to approve abatement.
We have no abatements.
No abatements. Action to approve claims for payment.
We have, so we'll do this in three different, we have our regular claims, we have one jail claim, and then we do have the 911. We'll take the big packet first, if that's okay with you. I didn't really highlight anything. It was a lower month, but we had to add a few things on at the end, nothing too crazy. One was our yearly salary billing from SDSU for our 4-H educator. That was in the amount of $23,050. And then we also added on the, oh, I gotta find it at the end here. Last page.
Just for your information, that's half of her salary.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
They, SCSU
They
paid
didn't-
the other half.
Yeah, yes, that's just our portion to that,
Mhm.
yes. That's how I should have said it, you are correct. And then the other was with the jail amount of, to the municipal utilities, but we'll do that separately, but it does add to our total amount. That was in the amount of $1,033.28, making a total amount of $1,010,421.26. But the state pass-through amount this month was $463,666.90. And so our ending balance of county claims is $546,754.36.
Move to approve.
Motion by Johnson,
Second.
second by Gable. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay,
So that was
just regular claims. So now we'll do the jail claim. Two municipal utilities in the amount of $1,033.28.
Move to approve.
motion by Gable,
Second it.
second by Schwer.
Just people, in case people are wondering what that is. So that's the utilities for the construction site that are going on right now as the jail is being built. So
For the new jail build.
Any other questions? Seeing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries.
Okay, and our 911 amount this month, it's the January 2026, is in the amount of $39,136.80. This is just passed through to the city of Watertown.
Mr. Chair, I will be recusing myself from this vote, Van Duzen.
Okay,
Move to approve.
second.
motion by Johnson, second by Gable. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next up, we have action to approve automatic budget supplements.
Nothing for 15 or 16.
16 is personnel changes, so there's none of them. Next up is action to approve the travel requests, and we have a couple of those.
Yep, 3, and they're all for staff in the state's attorney's offices to attend a conference. Have all the information in front of you.
Move to approve.
Motion by
Second.
Schwer, second by Johnson. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right. Public notices, possibility a quorum of commissioners could be in attendance. Number 1, we got the Weed and Township, Towns and Townships annual meeting this Wednesday where we're gonna enjoy oyster stew or chili.
Those little crackers.
Is there any other events?
Well, I don't know that tonight is the Sioux Valley Co-op Scenics annual meeting, and I know I'm going, and there could very well be others there that you have to remember that Scenics is probably one of our key vendors. And as you noted, we looked at the bids, Scenics got all of the fuel this year, and so we're represented there. And beside that, all the board members that are on the Scenics board are former students of mine, so it's kind of fun for me to go and check on them.
You said that, and you said that's tonight?
Tonight, yeah,
Where's that at?
6 o'clock at the Ramcota.
Ramcota, all right. Any other events? Is Troy gonna call us down to Arizona or? Guess not. All right. Moving on. Any old business?
Mr. Chair, I can give a quick update on the jail. As far as construction goes, so right now the focus is on that central part of the jail, putting some steel columns up, steel beams. So that's why if you look at the online web stream, most of that work is kind of hidden behind the facade, the front facade of where they put up all the precast panels. So that's kind of what's going on right now. Sometime in early April, maybe or last week of March, first week of April, first part of April, looking at a visit to the precast plant again to look at some more precast panels as they begin to be cast for the last part of the last batch, basically. And let me show and I think I've shown this before, the contingency. That's kind of where it sits right now. So we're in very good shape there. The most recent one is the builder's realignment fee. So they went ahead and took out of the contingency, and so working with Tegra as we go through each one of these, the portion of the construction manager's fee that's within that contingency for the job of doing the part of the project that's covered in that contingency. So potentially, if you don't use all of that, all the contingency, some of that might go back as a credit into the project. So, but you can see we're sitting both for the owner contingency amount. We haven't touched that one very much, and then the construction contingency amount. So, and all of that, just so everybody understands, both of these contingencies are the full contingency, basically reserve money, is all within the overall project cost. So, and that's planned in there because to deal with all the little changes that come along the way. So, thanks.
Thank you, Commissioner Gable. Any other old business? Seeing none, we'll move on. Any new business? Any new business? Don't see any. All right, we're up to open. Any public comments or commissioner comments?
I would mention that if you've been watching the legislature and the bill, a lot of people are talking about is that 2% or half a percent, 2% would be great. The 0.5% sales tax that they're going to allow the county to impose, and I don't know all of the devil's in the details, I'll just say that. But as this becomes more available, more information is available, at least for me anyway, we'll have to determine, if we want to impose the full 0.5%, and how and when that is going to be received and so on and so forth. Have you received anything, Brenda?
Not at this point.
Yeah, but it's one bright shot, that's a bright spot, you know, and it kind of goes back to way back when we started working on the jail project and we talked about the 0.5 cent sales
Right.
tax and it got shot down so drastically. Now I think with the governor behind it, that he actually proposed it. You just didn't have enough clout, Lee. You should have been governor. That would help.
But, Chair, or if I can just add to that, so, it's a little different, so it is 0.5 cent.
Yeah,
The way this is set up, the way I understand it is, so counties would have the authority to, to levy that 0.5 cent sales tax, but then whatever revenue you get from that, you subtract it off property tax across the board.
Yep.
Basically. So the idea is, the overall idea is to relieve property tax. So it's a little different than what I was working on before, where that would be focused on what I was working on before would be focused on, say, a project like a jail.
and it is referable,
Yeah, I guess, well, pretty much.
like it was before.
Yeah, pretty much everything we do is referable. Yeah, but, so, and that just means people can circulate a petition and put it to a vote if they want to. But, so the idea is that, it depends on how you feel about sales tax. In a place like Watertown, we would probably put some money, maybe be more cost effective for taxpayers, I think, with, any part that you can take off of property tax, would be good. So, but, yeah.
Well, the main thing there is that the people that come to Watertown or this community to shop from other counties or other states or wherever, tourists or whatever, will help us pay.
Yeah.
And support the
Yeah,
county.
it's gonna save us.
That's the additional dollars that'll come there. And I don't know, I was going to do some digging and find out what a 0.5 cent proposal would possibly be in terms of dollars
Yeah,
and cents.
I worked some of that up I haven't done it for the recent couple of years, but I worked some of that up when I was working on this.
It's a sizable amount.
Yeah, it would have, say, if we'd have done that, say, for a jail, like our jail, it would roughly cut the time roughly in half.
Yep.
On the bond. So just to give you an idea versus a property tax bond. So roughly, it depends. Sales tax is a little harder to predict than property tax, but it'd be significant.
And that wouldn't be taking anything away from the tax that's already there. It would be an addition.
Well, yeah, you're talking about on the sales tax part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the good thing is it would lower the property tax.
Right.
So and that's what the governor's motivation is, I think.
All right, anything else for the open? Seeing none, do we have a need to go into executive session today?
Move to adjourn.
Second it.
Motion by Johnson, second by Schwer to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. We are adjourned.